Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Daredevil Born Again Season 2 video. And this time I'm gonna have to ask you guys to bear with me because there's not really a whole lot to say, because in both of these episodes, we had a double episode this week, we got episodes 2 and 3, and even in 2 episodes, there's not a lot to talk about. Most of it's just the same thing I said from episode 1 and continuation from season 1. Again, it's more talking, not a whole lot of action. There's barely any Daredevil. In the Daredevil show, he feels like a side character when his name is literally the name of the show. He should be the one doing the cool stuff. But no, we just have to sit around and talk about random crap with characters that nobody cares about. So, gotta love that. So, episode 2 is literally just that. Even more so than episode 1. Because at least episode 1, it started off with, Daredevil on the freighter fighting. Didn't know why. Didn't get our context right away, but we got it later. So it's like, okay, at least I can give them something for that. But with this one, it's just talking and talking and talking. We see stuff with Heather. We see stuff with BB. We see stuff with Kirsten. We see stuff with Matt and Karen. We see stuff with Daniel. I don't care. We see stuff with Fisk just doing stuff. I don't know what he's doing. Literally, that's all it is. The only key things we start to see, we see more of, Heather's descent into madness. Because we start to see more of her, seeing more of these visions and, kind of like sinking deeper into that. And at one point, I can't remember if it was in 2 or 3 because these episodes just bled together. I think she's hanging a picture or something. She's hammering a nail. And when she does it, she starts kind of like wigging out a little bit. She opens a drawer and she saved Muse's mask. So, feels heavily that she's probably going to be taking up the mantle of Muse or something, which, okay. Oh my god, we get more lost. There's some lost stuff with Kirsten. We see, Cherry at the hospital. And, that's really it for them. We see, and I forgot to mention this in my first review, but there's this kind of, Kingpin parody going around. Someone's, dressing up in a white suit. And this kind of, cartoonishly exaggerated mask kind of puts you in a mind of those, if you watch any, old, 80s or 90s movies, a lot of bank robbers would wear, these Richard Nixon masks. Kind of reminds you of that. And he's basically parodying all the stuff he's doing and saying about how, I'm doing all these great things and I love you guys and whatnot. And it's showing all the atrocities and whatnot going on. And in episode 2, we don't know what's going on, but it's pretty easy to figure out. We find out in episode 3, it's been BB, and she's siphoning information off of Daniel's laptop and things, and leaking them out when she does these little skits and whatnot. Okay. We find out what's going on with Sherry. He's alive, he's in the hospital, and Fisk sends the task force to, get him. But some of the characters from the end of season 1 who are at Josie's bar with Matt as Daredevil, they come and get him out of there. And yeah, those are mainly the only real things that happen. And then at the end of episode 2, end of the episode, I believe, or the beginning of 3, it's really tough to remember because just nothing happened, and they bled into each other. So they end up finding Matt and Karen at Josie's bar. The VTF, they barge in. They're fighting people. Karen is able to defeat this one operative with very minimal effort, but it kind of explains that he wasn't really trying to fight her or anything. He actually wanted to talk to him. Because at the beginning of episode 3, after they kind of get split up, they meet together. They take this guy to some remote location. They interrogate him, and he gives them this ID card to go into this location. It ends up being this location where Fisk is basically stashing all the people in cages that are his enemies. You know, like that's where we saw Punisher at the end of season 1. That's where he put the swordsman, because we do see swordsman's case get resolved with Heather, her like messing around with the notes and whatnot. I believe that was in episode 2. He ends up getting found guilty and thrown in jail, of course. And basically that's again what episode 3 is. We see again, it's just more talking, more characters I don't really care about. And the only thing really, and we see some of Hector Ayala, who was White Tiger in season 1. We see some stuff with his daughter in episode 3. She ends up grabbing his medallion, amulet, whatever you want to call it, and starts running around as a little mini black tiger, or not black tiger, white tiger. She's like this 12-year-old kid that's like, what are we doing? This isn't Batman and Robin, where Batman takes in the kid, trains him, thoroughly, and then takes him. No, we're just throwing the kid in the act. Like, okay, child endangerment. That's great. So Matt and Karen end up discovering, through some information they gather, where this key card the guard gave them goes, because Kirsten ends up getting taken there. Maybe his trial wasn't episode. Again, I'm trying to keep these straight. It's very difficult because so little happens. It's like, which one did these these things that barely happened happen in? Kirsten ends up going to this place so she can talk to the swordsman. And Daredevil ends up going there because she's the only person he can trust to talk to. And they find out that she went there and she was blindfolded the whole time. And he goes, is there anything you can tell me? What did you see or anything? And she goes, they had me blindfolded. I couldn't really see anything. And Daredevil kind of smiles and goes, I can work with that. This sequence was kind of interesting because we see Kirsten going through, the path that the guy was taking her through in this place. And we see things like we see the things that she heard. Like there's pigeons on this one pipe. We see a leaky, faucet later on. She walks through puddles and these things. And as we see her going through it, we then pick up with Daredevil doing it. So it was kind of cool seeing that. It's almost like she was explaining it to him, but they didn't have her actually explain it, which was kind of an interesting thing to do. Is like, I'll give them some points for that. He ends up going there, he uses the key card, and he sees everybody there. So he ends up freeing everybody. And of course, the swordsman, since he's there, they end up having him help. And they ended up, I think, what was it? Ava Ayala, little mini white tiger. I can't remember if it's her mom or her aunt, because I really didn't care. She ends up getting taken and locked up. So she's there. They end up, that's why Ava's there, because she wants to help get her free. So Karen's waiting out in the car while Matt's doing all this. There's a scene, because Ava brings a walkie-talkie from their guy, from the AVTF, so Karen can talk with Daredevil in there. They end up getting them all out. And Karen's there, like, she's gotten her gun and she's shooting. She's doing all these, like, action star spy things. And it's just like, I don't believe this. It's like, she's... Karen, if we remember back to season 1 of the Netflix show, Karen freaked out when she had to shoot Fisk's side, his number 1, second in command. He was awesome. Wesley. How could I forget his name? He was so awesome. And that freaked her out. But now she's, just killing them all, no problem. And that scarred her, throughout season 2. It really kind of weighed on her and bothered her. And now she's just cool with killing people. I mean, I get it. They're in an extreme situation. Things kind of, have escalated and they got to get done. But it's just kind of like, they're trying to make Karen like this action hero and it just doesn't work. So through all the help of, Ava and Karen, too many K names. Karen and Swordsman, they're able to get all of the people out and into this armored truck. And they let them all, and they're driving off. And they think, oh, cool. We saved them all. And then Fisk blows up the freighter. There's a dock crew worker because he doesn't want anyone finding any of the evidence of the guns that he's been trafficking. And that's basically where the 2 episodes end. And I just... it's getting harder and harder to care. I'm sick and tired of these characters, as I keep saying, that I just... And even Matt and Karen and Fisk, they are getting such little screen time, and when they do, they have so little to do that I'm starting to... Because they were the only things that were, saving the show for me throughout season 1, and then the first episode, but it's like after 3 episodes, I'm kind of just like, I don't care. I'm not getting enough Daredevil in my Daredevil show again. Like I said, and I'm trying to care. I really am, but I just don't. I really don't. And if you guys watch my season 1 reviews, you know how much I love this character, how much I love Daredevil. I think Charlie Cox is like one of the greatest. And same thing with Vincent D'Onofrio. They're like two of the perfect 10 out of 10, born for the role castings for comic book characters. They're phenomenal up there with like Christopher Reeve as Superman, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. But even them, it's like they're masters at these characters. They're great when they're on screen. I do kind of tend to pay attention a little bit more, but I'm still kind of just like, are you guys going to do anything interesting? Because Fisk used to be intimidating. He didn't even have to talk. He just had to look at you, and you were about to crap your pants. He was that scary and intimidating. And this is that we've seen him get cucked so many times in Hawkeye, in Echo, in season 1, and it's just I don't care. I'm going to stick it out and finish the season, but if they do end up doing a season 3, unless it picks up, which I highly doubt it will, at the end of this season, I'm going to have a really hard time, mustering up the willpower to review it. And another thing, it feels like it's becoming more and more apparent, and they're forcing it more and more down our throats, is the Trump and ICE allegory. Now, I don't want to get political on this channel. That's not the point. I want to talk about nerd stuff and things I'm passionate about. So this is as far as I'll go with it. I don't care where you stand politically, whether you're on the left, the right, the middle, whatever. It's very clear that Hollywood is very much on one side and very much anti the other side. And they've been that way for like the last decade or so. Can we please stop? Can we please stop bringing these real-world allegories because you hate because Orange Man bad, and you are so against this whole like ICE thing and whatever, even though you weren't when the other guy you do like who was in office was doing it. But that's beside the point. Please stop putting real-world politics into things. You can make things political, like even season 1, the whole idea of Kingpin running for mayor and getting elected and all this stuff going on. You can do like political intrigue and stuff, but keep like the real world stuff out of it. Or if you do that, do it subtly. These guys are doing it subtly with the subtlety of a nuke. It's like right in your face, and it's just the more it goes on, and it's like even the AVTF, like there are moments where they're like going after. There are moments where they're going overboard, but then there are moments where they're going after these criminals who are doing these horrible things, and it's like, am I supposed to feel bad for the criminals? No, I'm not going to. So, just stop, okay? Just stop. We want these shows, these movies, these video games, these comic books, these novels, whatever type of media you're consuming, we want it to escape the things that are stressing us out in the real world. It is meant to be escape from life and all the hard things we got to endure. Hence escapism. Stop trying to take that away from us. And that's why, even this show, ratings are in the toilet. Because people are tired of it. Alright? Jeez. So yeah, that's the whole of these 2 episodes. Crap, garbage, caca-doo-doo. I don't care. I kind of started to get a little bit interested because at the end of the episode, you see Matt and Karen in the front seat of this armored vehicle that they steal to get all the prisoners out. It is stupid because they're like miles away, and then you see the explosion. They're not that far enough away, but it's like, how does Daredevil? Is like, I don't know. It's a little bit far of a stretch for Daredevil to hear things from that distance. It's like, I know he has enhanced senses, but it's like, he's not Superman, so you're pushing it a little far there. But I was kind of like, I was like, you know what, okay, something's happening. And then it ended, so I was like, all right, cool. Wednesday, the next episode of Daredevil, bored again. Shout out to Nerdrotics and all the other guys on Twitter for that one. But yeah, that's really all I have left to say. I can't even go on more about how much I can't stand this, that, and the other thing, because I've already done it enough. I genuinely, though, really appreciate you guys for watching the videos. It means a lot to me. As much as the things I'm talking about drive me crazy, I do still enjoy, talking about these things and, interacting and whatnot. And please, if you guys are enjoying the content, you are so inclined, please leave a like, comment, even consider subscribing, especially those likes and comments. It does help YouTube push out the algorithm, and it's been very weird. I'm having some videos doing very well that I wouldn't expect to, and I'm having some other ones that I would expect to do well, kind of doing like okay. So I would appreciate you guys do that, but I really just appreciate you guys just watching, as always. So thank you very much. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day, night, or whenever you watch this. And I will see you guys in the next Daredevil review. Take care. Peace and love, everybody.